Welcome to the Arizona Wildcat Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. I'm Star Sports Editor Ryan Finley here with Daniel Burke. DB, let's talk about UCLA here. This is a team that was thought to be a national championship contender before the season started, but we saw some cracks pretty much right away. They struggled against Virginia but won the game, and have been sort of underwhelmingly good since then. This is not a team that inspires a whole lot of confidence or enthusiasm, I think, even from their own fan base.
No, and I think it's fascinating because they're 6-2.
Yeah.
And if they win Saturday against Arizona, I mean, and Arizona's season is being large, viewed as this large surprise and this great season. They're going to be tied, if they win on Saturday. So they're still having a good year. It's just when Kirk Herbstreit goes on ESPN before the season and says UCLA is going to win the national championship, it just makes everybody's head explode. And I think that I wasn't, early on in the season when they're winning those games. I mean, they weren't sexy wins, but they're winning and they're going across the country and they're winning.
Right, they beat Texas in Dallas
with a backup quarterback for the majority of the game, and so I thought this team still, was going to get it together. That loss to Utah at home really surprised me. The Oregon one didn't, but I still think this is a really good team. Right. I really do, and I think their offensive line is starting to get better. Brett Hundley, I think, went through a spell where he just felt like he was never going to have any protection and he was making bad decisions. I think he's starting to get over that. The defense isn't quite as good as I thought, but they've battled some injuries. But I still think UCLA is a really good team. And when they put it all together like they did in Tempe, and they won 62-27, I mean, they're a team, when they're clicking on all cylinders, that they're really hard to stop.
If you talk about UCLA, you have to talk about Hundley. He's a Chandler kid, a preseason Heisman Trophy candidate. Probably safe to say now that he's not going to win that award. But he's a guy who, for all the struggles, still leads all quarterbacks in completion percentage this year. He's not having a bad season. He's just not getting protection.
Yeah, he's not getting protection, and he also, Arizona probably has a better receiving core than UCLA.
No question.
Think about that for a minute. So he doesn't have a ton of weapons. And Paul Perkins is a nice back, but he's nothing great. And Miles Jack hasn't been what I think they thought he was going to be on offense. So I just don't think he's had the guys around him. I don't think Brett Hundley's the issue, and I don't even think it's close. And I think it's easy to pile on the quarterback and fault him when times are rough. But I don't think Brett Hundley has been the issue. I think he's still a really good quarterback who, again, if things start clicking, he can torch Arizona if you're not careful. So I don't think he's the issue. I think he's a really good quarterback, and they just need some of those other guys around him, Peyton, Perkins, Fuller, these guys to step up and make some plays.
You know why Miles Jack isn't the answer at running back?
Because he's not a running back.
Because he's a linebacker. This is ridiculous, yeah.
Well, I mean, look, it had a ton of success last year. It started here against Arizona when he went nuts, and it was a cool idea. The thing I think that they've struggled with is they haven't gotten creative with Jack at running back. It's the same thing every time, right up the middle. And teams, whether you're good or bad, whether you're Colorado, Cal, or Oregon, you're going to adjust. And that's what teams have done.
Absolutely. Great stuff as always. Daniel Burke, this is the Arizona Wildcat Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. I'm Ryan Finley, the man who will be at the Rose Bowl on Saturday. Daniel Burke. We'll see you next time.
Try this matchup. Low prices and faster checkout. You can count on it at Fry's.